Did the police come and rescue you? Or what happened?
Finally. But I lost my car. I lost my phone.
How badly is your car damaged?
Well, I seen it on fire, so it's totaled. And everything I had, and I had probably another $1,000 worth of stuff in my car.
And what happened to the people who turned your car? Nothing.
I don't know if it got turned over. I just know it got totaled.
Can you ask him, was he in the car when the protesters approached him and tried to flip the car over?
Were you in the car when when they turned it over?
No, they didn't. I don't know if they turned it over or not. They beat me up, and the cops came and got me.
You were in the car at the time?
Yes, and then they torched it after the cops took me, including my phone. I can't even call for a ride. So I've been marching with these people all the way down here and all the way down here, trying to convince them all lives matter. These cops didn't do it. Some cops are bad. Some cops are good.
How did you get hurt on your forehead?
Because I yelled out my window, cops.
Did somebody hit you with something?
Yes, 2 black and African Americans. They beat me through my open window that I yelled out, all lives matter.
All right. All right.
I mean, this is, the guy's just lying through his teeth. We just watched what happened. I mean, and I can assure you, far more people saw that local news report than the bow and arrow that came out and fired at somebody.
Sam, the good thing, though, is they did. If that was the Fox 13 clip, they did issue a correction later after getting the footage. But it was insane that they let him go on like that in the first place. And he is very disturbed. And him straight up saying it was African Americans that did that to him. You can see in the clip, it was mainly white people that were beating the shit out of him after he attempted to murder people. There were, tons of, it was a very, very diverse crowd yesterday. You asked the Seattle guy what the age breakdown was. It was mainly a younger crowd, late teens, 20s and 30s. There were some older people as well. A lot of our local socialist groups were involved. PSL did a very peaceful protest yesterday to try to kind of fix the narrative that happened with local news here, because, I mean, stuff like this doesn't really happen in Salt Lake very often. Despite having we don't have our police forces here don't have a very good track record, and so yeah, this was pretty big news on all the local channels. So yeah, it was. I mean, that guy is just something else. But it's at least they issued a correction later on in the evening.
Kyle, appreciate the phone call.
Yeah, thanks, Sam.
Thanks. Let's head to the fun half. We will take more phone calls. We will go over some more footage. Do we have, is Nomi on the line?
Yes.
All right, let's bring her in. In the meantime, we should just remind you, this program relies on your support. You can become a member at jointhemajority.report.com. If you're going through some financial stress right now, or anticipate going through some financial stress, still want the fun half of the program, send us an email at majorityreporters@gmail.com. If you're going through some financial stress and you're a member, head over into your membership. You can adjust your membership. If you go through the process of canceling, we can hook you up with a fix for you that will work for you. So check that out. Also, tonight is Tuesday. Michael Brooks Show happening tonight, live, 7 p.m. Patreon.com/TMBS, and on YouTube, of course, The Michael Brooks Show. Matt, do you know who's on tonight?
I do, yes. Chuka Ejechem and Matt Chrisman are on tonight, and Artesia Balthrop in the postgame.
All right, so that should be a fun night over there, I'm sure. Lot to talk about on the unraveling of the country. And joining us now for the fun half, but also to tell us about what she's doing on her show this week, Nomiki Kans. Nomi, what's been going on down in your neck of the woods?
Well, there's just like so much of the country, there's a statewide curfew, except as far as I know, and I've been checking in Tucson where I am. It hasn't brewed up it's nowhere near the rest of the country, even Phoenix. So it's a little strange that there's a curfew in other parts of the state. And don't forget, this is a Republican state, Governor Ducey. So I think there's a lot of pushback about, why there's a curfew when there's not much happening outside of parts of Phoenix. And even that has become a little bit more contained. So I think we have to dig into, there's just so much happening at once. It's really hard to uncover all of it. But, why would they exercise that curfew in all of Arizona, which is a very large state? So, but on my show, which was taped before all this happened, we talk about the other crisis, climate change, which is, still there, with Margaret Klein Solomon, who's part of Climate Mobilization. She founded that, and she has a new book out. She's a clinical psychologist, and she talks about how to communicate the crisis of climate change, that it's existing now. It's really fascinating stuff because that's her background. And then we talked to Eva Putsova, who is a congressional candidate here in Arizona. She represents, or she's, vying to represent the Navajo Nation, which is the hardest hit per capita in the country when it comes to COVID. But at the beginning of the show, we do talk about the protests and the crisis in leadership and a little bit how we got here and why this moment isn't different, but it kind of is different. So I get, a little fired up, shocker. So you want to check that out. It's out
imagine. We'll talk a little bit about the primaries that are taking place today, a little bit later in the fun half. Don't forget the Antifada. Jamie, I imagine, has been rather busy over the past couple of nights, and they have a lot to talk about this week. Who knows? What's going to happen tomorrow, for that matter. Never mind by the end of the week. Matt, what's happening on the Literary Hangover Twitch stream?
Yeah, twitch.tv/literary hangover. I played Half-Life and we watched the 1954 BBC adaptation of George Orwell's 1984. So I don't know, I wasn't really in a mood to talk about the Wild West, so I just played 1984 and it seemed to fit the moment. So twitch.tv/literary hangover.
All right, folks, quick break. Head into the fun half. Before we do, let me remind you, excited to introduce you to one of the coolest sponsors we've had. It's Hunt a Killer. It's a murder mystery subscription box. It's one of the most unique games out there, and it brings the fun of an escape room which you cannot go to probably for a long time, right to your home. You go to huntakiller.com/majority. Use the promo code majority at checkout for 20% off your first box. Check it out. A lot of fun. That's huntakiller.com/majority. Promo code majority. All right, quick break. Fun half. Left is best. Jamie and I may have a disagreement.
Yeah, you can't just say whatever you want about people just because you're rich.
I have an absolute right to mock them on YouTube.
He's up there buggy whipping like he's the boss.
I am not your employer.
I'm tired of the negativity.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to upset you. You're nervous? You're a little bit upset? You're riled up?
Yeah, maybe you should rethink your defense of that, you fucking idiots.
We're just going to get rid of you.
All right.
But dude. You want to smoke this joint?
Yes.
Do you feel like you are a dinosaur?
That's some good shit.
Exactly. I'm happy now.
It's a win-win.
It's a win-win-win.
Oh, hell yeah.
Now listen to me. 2, 3, 4, 5 times. 847-906-501-457. 2, 38, 56, 27. 1/2, 5 eighths, 3.9 billion.
Wow.
He's the ultimate math nerd.
Don't you see?
Why don't you get a real job instead of spewing vitriol and hatred, you left-wing Limbaugh?
Everybody's taking their dumb juice today.
Come on, Sammy.
Dance, dance, dance.
Ooh.
I had my first post-coital scene with a woman. I'm hoping to add more moves to my repertoire. All I have is the dip and the swirl.
Fine, we can double dip.
Yes, this is a perfect moment.
No.
Wait, what?
You make under $1 million a year. You're scum. You're nothing.
Excuse me? Fuck you, you fucking liberal elite. I think you belong in jail.
Thank you for saying that, Sam. You're a horrible, despicable person.
All right, gonna take a quick break. I want to take a moment to talk to some of the libertarians out there. Take whatever vehicle you want to drive to the library. What you're talking about is jibber jabber.
Classic. I'm feeling more chill already.
Good. Donald Trump can kiss all of our asses.
Hey, Sam. Hey, Andy. You guys ready to do some evil?
Hitler was such an idiot.
I think I might be a Nazi.
Agree.
No.
Death to America.
You.
Yes.
Wow.
Wow, that's weird. No way! Unbelievable. This guy's got a really good hook.
Throw our hands up.
Ooh. Wow.
But Sam, I gotta get off.
No worries. Let's. I want to just flesh this out a little bit. I mean, look, it's a free speech issue. If you don't like me...
Hey, shut up!
Thank you for calling into the Majority Report. Sam will be with you shortly.